When Excel 2010 was released, Microsoft released a new feature called slices, pivot table slices in this case. What I'd like to do is add two slices to this pivot table. If I go to the Insert tab in the ribbon, I have the option Slicer. If I click Slicer, I can choose which field. I might choose Year and OK. And now I have a slicer that I can easily drag by its frame and position nicely on my worksheet. I can also grab the bottom edge and lift it up and resize the slicer so it's only as tall as it needs to be. The slicer enables me to quickly slice or filter my pivot table. It's a nice user-friendly interface. If I click on 2012, I've just sliced my pivot table to show only the year 2012, equally 2011 and 2010. And if I wish to show 2010 and 2012, click on 2010, hold the Control and click on 2012. And now I'm seeing both years in my pivot table. To clear the filter, I have a little button in the top right of the slicer called Clear Filter, and I click this button to clear it. I can have as many slices as I like, so what I'm going to do is click in the pivot table, go back to the Insert tab in the ribbon, go back to the button Slicer found in the filter group, and click Slicer. I might like a second slicer, and this is by region, so I'll tick Region and OK. I'll then move the slicer by its edge and position it nicely on my worksheet, and I might also drag the bottom corner down, or the bottom edge down, or corner, and resize it so that I can clearly see all the regions. If I wish to filter by a certain region, perhaps Tauranga, I'll click on Tauranga. And now I'm just seeing the pivot table for the region Tauranga. Equally, I can click on Whakatane or click on Rotorua. If I want to see Rotorua 2012, I'll click on 2012. And now both slices are working to filter my pivot table. I can clear the region and or clear the year. I can also format these slices so that they look very appealing. I have a number of slicer styles that appear in my Slicer Tools Options tab in the ribbon. I might choose a green slicer for region. And if I click on year, I might choose a red slicer for year. As I click, I can easily slice my regions and my years in my pivot table, and clear with the clear button in the top right corner of each slicer. To remove my slicer, I'll click on the edge of the year slicer and press the delete key on my keyboard. And I'll click on the edge of the region slicer and press the delete key on my keyboard. So slices are nice user-friendly ways for the user to filter a pivot table, and they came out in Excel 2010.